Yes. Okay, we're here. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo, and this is Givin Them The Business. And I'm doing this episode right now out of New York. Came across one of my homies that has so much things going on that we're going to talk about. But my man, my partner in crime, Don Dinero, K-Walla, he's not with me right now, but don't worry about it. He's in Miami selling his book. Go get it. You know what I'm saying? The formula, 16 lessons, the formula in English and Spanish, audio, video, the whole thing. It's fire. It will definitely impact your life. And again, he's not with me tonight, but I'm going to hold it down for him as always. And this is Giving Them The Business. I want to thank everybody for subscribing, liking, sharing. We're over 300,000 views and growing. And I keep pushing this product, and I know it's going to do what it do. So, I mean, thank everybody, my whole staff, my whole team. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And my guest today is Eric Big Wack Hawkins. Hawkins. Sorry,
Hawkins, yeah.
Mr. Hawkins.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah. How you doing, brother? How's everything?
Man, I am blessed and unstressed, brother.
Yeah, that's a fact. I like that. I'm blessed and unstressed. I might run with that one right there.
I woke up this morning, so I'm already on the winning streak.
That's it. That's the battle. Waking
Absolutely.
up. We breathing. We in the game. That's all that matters. I tell everybody all the time. You know, they ask me how I'm doing. I said, I'm still breathing. That means I'm in the fight.
Man, I woke up. Every time I wake up in the morning, I thank God for waking me up and giving me another opportunity to get it right.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a segment of the population that didn't wake up this morning.
That's right.
Ever since I've been living, 365
I'm gonna
days
knock
a
on wood
year.
for the homies for that one right there.
365 days a year. Every day I've been living, there's been a segment of the population that didn't open their eyes the same time I opened mine.
Okay. And I want to thank you first and foremost. I know you traveled coming from L.A. We in Vegas right now, like you said.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank you for coming in and doing this
Absolutely,
with me
pleasure,
today.
brother.
I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But let's get started. I know you did a long time inside, and I want to get a little background. Where you from?
I'm from Compton, California. I grew up
Compton.
Compton.
Shout out Terminator, you know what I mean?
All the time.
T-Nator.
You know, shout out to everybody over in my section. I grew up in the Fruittown, Piru area section of Compton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, with coming up in Compton, give me a little background on what's that like. I grew up in Hollis, Queens. Again, that's where Run DMC, everyone knows that's really where they was from. So I grew up with Jam Master Jay, God bless the dead, living up the block, and Russell Simmons, Run, and DMC down the road, like blocks away. So it was for me, for music, it was a great experience to just see how they was moving and shit like that, and the things they did for the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And just bringing like buses to tourists to their concerts. So it was a big deal. What about in Compton? Like, what was that like growing up in Compton?
And that's crazy how different neighborhoods have their own little like mini cultures, right?
Yeah.
Subsets, right? Their own little way of doing things, right? And so I grew up in the 70s and 80s in Compton.
Okay.
I grew up in Compton and Long Beach, right? And
isn't Long Beach? Is that a blue? That's blue.
But listen, when I grew
even
up,
though Compton sections, there are blue sections in Compton
it
too.
didn't matter. It
doesn't matter.
Back then, any OG dude from Long Beach and Compton to tell you back then.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you was blue or red.
Shout out Big Faye.
They didn't like nobody from Compton.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
No, it's territorial. See, us growing up in Hollis, so our territorial problem wasn't from Hollis. It was Southside.
Yeah.
I know, you know, Southside. I didn't fuck with no one from Southside at the time.
Yeah.
Now I got a ton of dudes I fuck with from Southside. But at that time, it was on site. It's just that I wasn't in a gang. So this is the difference from East and West. You know, there wasn't no color. It was really where you was from.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how individuals.
It's all the same to me.
Yeah, that's how individuals end up becoming a gang. It's just it didn't matter if you said you was gang banging or not. Is where you lived at.
That's right.
Right. So if
and we didn't pick where we got.
I didn't pick where I lived.
We didn't get the chance to pick where we lived. It's where your parents was, and that's it.
Where my mama went.
That's it.
That's it. You know
that's it. Same here.
And so I end up, going to all crypt school. And they used to chase me home from school every day.
Wow. See, now look how that's ironic you say that, because I went from Hollis. I went and played football. I used to play football in Bayside, which was the best.
I played football too. Yeah.
That was the best football school in the city.
Okay.
We won a championship and everything, but I went to Bayside because I played football. But coming home from Bayside every day, the special that takes you from Bayside in Queens to Southside. Then from Southside, there's only one bus that gets you to Q2, that gets you to Hollis. So my whole journey was come from Bayside, go to Southside, from Southside, get to Hollis. Every day I fought niggas from Southside. They would be waiting on that special because they know you from Hollis.
Oh, really?
So literally, I tell everybody, I got more fights than Mike Tyson. That's how many fights I was in. Like, it was crazy. It was like you fought every day.
I fought every day. Listen, I fought in school.
Yeah.
I fought in school. And then
in school.
Then the guys that was my age will leave the school and go get a bunch of older dudes to wait for us when we get off.
Oh, man.
So for those who know, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I went to Bunch Junior High School.
Okay.
I went to Bunch Middle School. That was right across the street from Mona Park. Mona Park Crips. Culver Park Crips. PJ Watt Crips.
Damn.
Grape Street Crips.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't banging or nothing. I mean,
territorial.
This is where I lived at. I knew the name of my section where I lived at.
Yeah.
Where we live at? Over in Fruitown.
It's coming. Yeah.
But, you know, I started boxing when I was 7.
Okay.
You know, at the Boys Club in YMCA.
I probably started boxing when I was 14.
Yeah, I started when I was like 7.
Yeah.
So when I was going to school, I was already above average.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little dude.
See, I was about to say, you a big dude, man.
But I was a little dude back then.
Okay.
You know, I'm like 12, 13.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they own me, right? So I end up knowing all them and having the reputation of kind of like knowing how to fight.
Right. So, you know, again, from my side, this is a great. I love hearing this because we didn't know what you guys was doing on that side. We only seen some movies, and you probably only seen some movies for the East Coast.
DJ Quick put it best. You know what I mean? There's a lot of places that's just like Compton.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
When you travel, you see it.
You got the same. My grandfather told me a long time ago. He said you're gonna run into the same people over and over again in your lifetime. Different faces, but the same characters.
Same characters. That's a fact.
And so that's what it's saying. You real recognize the real.
I think there's 200 and man, I'm bad. I can't remember any five. There's a religion or faith that I deal with. It's all about ancestry. It's over 10,000 years old. It's from Nigeria, and I think it's 286 characters. So that's basically what your grandfather was telling you. You're gonna run it. It's only 286 of us. It's just different shapes, forms, and stuff, but exactly. they cut from that same cloth.
They cut from that same cloth.
That's
how the real recognize the real.
Yeah, it's easy to identify once you live it.
Or people tuned in the same radio station, like I like to say.
So,
you know.
So you come out. You started this incredible business that you started after all of this growing up in Compton. You went inside for a minute. You had to sit down for a minute. How long was you inside?
I was inside 27 years, 10 months, 3 days.
Man, I tell everybody inside, hold your head, man. You know what I'm saying? We talked about this off air, but a lot of times I hate to say it or admit it, is that sometimes that sentence, 27 is harsh no matter what. But I don't know exactly the nature of what you might have did.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and I don't want to talk about it. I just, that's the past. We moving forward. And but I do know the fact, and you could tell me if it helped you or not, meaning that sentence, that time. You come out a different person. You come out with different, all the dudes that I know that did them type of numbers, they're so productive today versus when they went in. You might have made a mistake being young. I tell everybody all the time, I mean, most of the things I did in the street, I didn't even think about it. I just did it because niggas said, let's go. And I'm pretty sure you the same thing.
Way.
It wasn't we're not serial killers or anything like that. But if that was something that might have took place, God forbid, You know what I mean? It was what it ended up being. So you come out of this 27 years, but you learned something inside. Talk about what you learned inside that kind of remolded your life today.
Well, one of the biggest things I learned inside was humility, because being in bondage is a humbling experience.
Yeah.
Right. So the next thing I learned was patience. Right.
Two things that a young person don't have.
Two things that a young person don't have.
You really get that when you get older.
Yeah, I mean,
or go through something.
Because your humility allows you to express your humanity for your fellow man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your patience allows you to develop your instinct and cultivate, your human nature as far as connections with people.
Right.
You know, that's what patience do. Some people just run out of patience because people are not moving how they feel they should move. Like, who are you to tell this dude he should move that way when his path is specific to him?
Yes.
The things that he's learned and the information that he's processed over the years, it's only specific to him.
Yeah.
Right? So
that happened to me, and not me personally, but people, it has happened to me personally, but in abundance, other executives in music especially, because the street guys don't understand what this executive has to do, this A&R has to do, and they know he could basically change my life if he signs me, but doesn't realize that all of the details they have to do and deal with on their end. They just want what they want, so they don't have the patience.
They don't see. They just see the end result. They don't see the hard work.
Yeah, and
they just think it happens overnight, and that's not the case. The other thing that I learned in prison was empathy.
Empathy.
Yes, empathy. Being able to relate to other people.
Right.
Being able to, I used to tell people all the time that I fight bullies. I don't like bullies.
Same here, man. We got a lot in common.
Yeah, I fight bullies.
I saved so many lives because of bullies that I took.
Right? And that's what I was thinking until somebody put it to me this way. He said, "How you fighting bullies when you a bully yourself?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You was bullying the community out there to accept you gangbanging."
Right.
It's citizens, it's Miss Williams out there, it's Miss Johnson out there that didn't appreciate they couldn't come out the house when they wanted to.
Never looked at it that way.
And I'm like, So I wanted to put a positive ripple effect out there instead of a negative ripple effect.
That's a fact.
And I want to be able to, when I come in contact with people, I want them to leave me with better energy than we made contact. And I try to do that with everybody.
Right.
And so because of that, I got into the music thing. I got into the music thing because I was giving back with the drug and alcohol detox.
Right.
And as an incentive to somebody to stay clean, I told them, if you stay clean, I'll help you with your music career because I know people. Give me 6 months clean, come back with a sponsor, right?
And that's what they all need. They need a sponsor. I learned about this from a dear friend. I won't talk about him, but you know what I'm saying? He's almost 3 years now, clean and sober, doing great, one of the best human beings I ever met in my life. And at the end of the day, he got sponsored. And I didn't understand the concept until I actually used to go to the programs with him. Was that AA programs? I would go sit with him. And all the people there would think I'm part of it. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, I'm here to support my brother. You know what I'm saying? And be there with him while he's going through this process.
Absolutely.
But they all thought I was lying. And until I kept coming back and he was like, nah, he don't do that at all. He don't drink, he don't smoke, nothing.
Because it's a disease.
It's a disease. You know what I mean? But what I seen inside, I told him in those sponsors or those programs, I believe those sponsors is key to the person becoming clean and sober. Because that's the strength of resolve they have to get off this addiction, whatever it may be.
And not only that, they need that support, and they need to have somebody because they don't have enough confidence yet to hold themselves accountable. They use a sponsor to be able to hold them accountable, and they feel more comfortable like that.
Yeah,
So those are other two things that go along with that.
Yeah,
it's the support, and it's the keeping them accountable.
Wow. So now you come out and you start a program that's doing this for all these, let's say, afflicted people that might have dependencies in drugs or alcohol?
Well, when I got my drug and alcohol counseling certification in prison, and so when I came out, I went to a halfway house called Health Right 360.
Say that again.
I went to a halfway house called Health Right 360.
Health Right 360.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happened there is that because of the program that I had developed in prison, it was getting a lot of lifers out of prison.
Wow.
And so
You
this
said lifers.
lifers.
Wow.
And so this particular
How does someone get in touch with you? Because you're going to get a ton of emails after this one.
And so and that program is still going on. CDC has adopted it and changed the name, but it's still going on.
You ever hear the Innocent program?
Yes.
So Barry Sheck.
Barry Sheck.
You know who Barry Sheck is?
I know who Barry Sheck is.
Barry Sheck, oddly enough, is like my cousin. Not like, he's in my sister married a guy named David Rabin.
Okay.
Jewish guy.
Uh-huh.
And David Rabin's cousin is Barry Sheck.
Oh, that's what's up.
So when we talk that Innocent Projects, my attorney, one of my attorneys for my case, he did all my jury selection. Josh Dubin. Shout out Josh, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? If anyone's ever in trouble, I promise you, he's someone they need to hire. He showed me so much in picking the science in picking juries for cases. You know, we went the whole distance. We didn't settle. So at the end of the day, Josh Dubin put that together and did an incredible job. But he took now over the Innocent Project.
Okay.
So it's crazy.
I got a couple of people that got out from the
But see, they
Project.
get out because of DNA evidence and things of that nature. This is a different way. And it's something probably y'all should talk about. Maybe I could connect you guys to Josh.
Yeah. So what that was is that particular program that I put together in Avenal and Old Folsom was a lifer program that taught basic life skills and reminded individuals of their basic life skills and how to communicate to the board their insight because. You know, a lot of times individuals go to the board, and because they can't articulate insight into their crime and why it happened and why they believe it happened, the board gives them a denial.
Yeah.
Because they felt they haven't properly dealt with it yet. So the program that I put together came from the experiences that I went through.
Right.
Going to the board, other people going to the board, what they needed, what they wanted, what was the individuals that got out, what did they have, how did they do it, and I put all the things together, created the program when nobody thought I could do it, got it accredited by education, and and got all the races to come there when individuals said I couldn't, because in California, it's segregated in prison, so if a black start a program, you won't have other races going to it. If a Hispanic start a program.
That's what I was going to ask you. In California, it's a lot of Mexicans, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a lot of Hispanic, but what I end up doing is because I was already education secretary, I knew how to get programs ran through education. So therefore, everybody can come to the class and don't feel like
it's segregated.
It's a classroom. You're getting credit for it. You're getting milestones for it. Right?
I need you to get you on the line with Preem.
Yeah, we working on my brother Jay Burton right now, man. Free Jay Burton.
Free Jay Burton. Free Supreme.
Free Supreme.
Kenneth McGriff. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
He needs to be home.
So I went to the board.
Give him a date.
Absolutely. I went to the board and they told me I needed to get anger management. I needed to get conflict resolution. I need to get some more, emotional intelligence classes. So what I did is I went and I created, what they told me to get, I created the programs for and I ran them. And I taught other people how to run them.
Did someone give you this idea or insight? This just came to you naturally on your own?
It came to me naturally on my own because I'm an overwhelmer. My thing was I'm gonna hit them with so much stuff that they can't help but to let me go.
Wow.
And at the same time, I'm gonna get other people out too.
Yeah. Nah, that's great work.
Yeah.
That's great work.
Thank you.
And then so now this program is existing in Compton?
Well, the detox that I have right now is in Pasadena.
Pasadena.
It's luxury detox for athletes and celebrities. We take private insurance and cash pay. But I'm also working.
Cash is king.
All the time. I'm also the executive director of a Helping Hand and Recovery nonprofit organization that helps place homeless addicts into sober livings.
Oh, that's great too, man. And that population of homelessness is going crazy out in California. Probably is everywhere else. Even, it's out here in Nevada, I see so much homeless, like it's crazy. And these are like wealthy states, man. It's like, how come no one's taking care of these people? It's sad when you think of the wealth. But you think of the wealth that these states have, the people that have the money that's in it, why aren't they fixing this problem because it's only about resources. If the government's not going to do something about it, why don't people of that kind of wealth? I mean, they got
to cut through the red tape, and there's a lot of bureaucracy that goes on with kind of dispersing the funds and allocating the money to the different organizations, homeless organizations that's doing this and doing that, and and people over here scratching their back, and I scratch yours.
See, that's the reason I don't play the politic game, because I don't want to scratch nobody's back or look for the favor in return. I want to do it out of what I feel in my heart.
I was telling
what's right, and that's it.
And I was telling somebody that exact same thing today. It's like, a lot of the things, good things that I do for people, I don't remember it because it comes naturally.
It's right.
But the bad things I did, I can tell you in detail.
Yeah.
Right, but the good, because it comes so natural, I'm not expecting anything in return, so there's no intent there, right?
No, that's so true, because it's just the nature of us. It's like, I'd rather do it out of the kindness of my heart. I don't want to give money to these big corporations that are non-for-profit, because I don't see the effect directly. I done buried so many homies and paid for their funerals, put people in college, shit like that. I've done that I don't look for the accolades. I just do it because it fits in that moment of who that person is, what is their need. Everyone has a problem and everyone has needs, so I can't help everybody. I'm not Jesus. Yeah. He saved everybody, right? I didn't get it. I can't do that. But at the end of the day, I do my part that way. And I don't, my tax accounts always say, give the money because you could do it. I don't care. That's not what I'm worried about. I like to see the effect of what I do and who I did it for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I've been on that mission since before I came home. When I first came home, I went on a high school kind of tour, doing a speaking tour.
Fire. That's dope.
Yeah, talking to the young people about choices and decision making.
They're the key ones to talk to, that age group right there.
Yeah, and priority setting. Mm-hmm. Everybody heard about goal setting, but people don't know about priority setting. And if you plan your goal, put your goals together based on your priorities, then your goals will be, that much more easier to accomplish.
Yeah, I get it. That is real. So what's prioritized to you and what you want to see done, and then it kind of makes everything else take a natural path.
Yeah. And so I started doing that. I got involved in a mentor thing where I was mentoring young people, and everything kind of steamrolled. Where I became a drug and alcohol counselor with my consulting company, just not employed but as a contractor. Right, they wanted me to facilitate their groups and their programs and do case management as a contractor, independent contractor. So I ended up doing that, and that kind of steamrolled into me.
That was a bigger, broader
into me
approach.
Consulting with how to put sober living homes together.
When
how
you're
to
dealing
do
with
detoxes.
these alcohol and these detox, because there's a big pandemic to me, in my opinion, with, let's say, weed, cannabis.
Yeah,
is that part of the detox?
It can be. Do
you see it? Like, do you see people strung out on weed? Is that an issue or not?
No,
I never seen that. That's why I'm asking.
No, so the thing about weed, it can be a catalyst for relapse, though.
Okay.
Because what happened if we never...
my mother always would say that's the gateway drug. Like I lost some uncles to dope. I lost 2 uncles to heroin. Blue Magic on some real shit. My mother and father grew up in Harlem. And they got the bag of that bad dope, and I lost 2 of my uncles from the dope. So, but they all...
My condolences,
Yeah, thank you. My mother would always tell me that weed was the gateway for them. Yeah. That's what started it.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, the thing about it is that I've known people that smoke weed and that's all they do.
Yeah.
From medical persons.
Shout out Everlast, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Everlast.
But I've also seen people who
Dex Diamond
who had to have the next best thing. They hire, they can never, they get the highest height on weed. Now they want some more potent in it.
Don Dinero.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep
all the time.
But it's you know what I see? I'm saying the weed is so weird because now, today, 2022, all I see is everyone smoking weed.
It's legal now.
I know, but just because it's legal don't mean you got to do it. God damn.
I can imagine.
I see niggas wake up and before they brushing their teeth, they rolling up.
Absolutely.
I see them before they, when they going, before they do anything, they rolling up before they go to bed. It's beginning from the minute they wake up. That to me is why we have to get into this prohibition of cannabis. We have to be in that business because
absolutely.
Everybody, it's crazy and it's a pandemic. But a friend of mine would tell me it's still medication, right? You're tampering with the way you are naturally, right? Basically, when it's gonna either lift you up. I'm not a weed smoker, so I don't know. It's sativa or it's something else. One is to kind of sedate you So you always in a sedated space if you constantly high. That means you really don't know who you are.
On the real.
That's the part that gets me. It's like, God damn, if that's how you living and functioning, who are you, nigga? Like,
you can't. You haven't even. Who
are you?
Listen.
Ever?
You don't.
Dex, Dinero.
See, here's the thing. I can only imagine, I can only imagine, right, that there were people during the Prohibition time that said almost the exact same thing you said about alcohol.
But alcohol, I seen alcohol destroy people.
Absolutely, it destroyed people.
But I see, again, to go back,
listen,
the phenomenon of weed.
Alcohol is one of the only things, well, it's just 2 of them.
Yeah.
Alcohol and benzos are 2 things that you can die from doing detox.
Yes.
Alcohol is serious.
It's serious.
I've never,
and it destroys organs.
I've never seen anybody overdose over no weed.
Right. This is the crazy part of weed because look, I'm just doing this because I'm playing devil's advocate.
Absolutely.
I don't smoke weed, but you're in the detox business, so I'm asking you if you've seen these things inside, so my mother would know. Ma, you hear that, Nene?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've never seen anybody come in just for
Nene,
weed.
I'm trying to help you right now.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody come in just for weed. I've seen people that left that had like a heroin addiction or a cocaine addiction and tried to go ahead and go do a weed maintenance, what they call a weed maintenance. And what happened is that once you break that covenant with yourself, right?
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. You broke the covenant with yourself already. So why am I even messing with this weed stuff? Well, it's not even
Kobe, shout out Kobe Bryant, God bless the dead. He said, I made a contract with myself and I'm not breaking it.
Man.
And they breaking their contract.
Man, they breaking their covenant with themselves. You got to keep your commitment. Like my guy, my mentor, without him knowing he's my mentor, Les Brown would say, you got to keep your commitments to your commitment.
That's right. What good is that if you don't?
That's why when I told him I was coming out here, I was coming out here.
Yeah.
When I talked to him 4 days, I talked to Ed 4 days ago, I said, I don't even know how I'm going to get out there because I got a lot of stuff going on.
I'm there.
But once he said he was going, and he was... If he can fly from New York, I can drive.
Ed flew out.
I can drive from Cali.
Shocked the shit out of me. That nigga's here. But this is a good thing, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk to you when I heard all of the things you're involved in. You also involved with music.
Yeah.
So talk about that. What is the program you created with the music? Because I deal with Adventure Music and all these independent artists, and I think Ev kept telling me, Chris, there's a lot of synergy here. You got to talk to Big Wack. And I was like, West Coast, there's a lot of money out there. We could get over there and make, there's a lot of opportunity. Absolutely. California, that state is, again, it's so huge. There's so much different opportunities out there. So talk about which one you're into.
Well, so music is my first love. Right? Yeah. So I used to be a DJ back in the days.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, I used to be making mixtape on my little Spree, little moped with my little storage thing on the back, selling my mixtapes.
Do you still DJ now or no?
No, I don't DJ anymore, but I know music.
Okay.
I got a good ear for music. So my engineers, I tell them, what I want, I want to hear. This one, I don't like that sound.
You're a producer then.
Yeah, so I just do a little arrangement on the side, right? And so anyway, how I got into that, like I said, the guy came through my detox. Mm-hmm. He came back 6 months later with a sponsor and his father on the phone. And I said, okay. So I give him a beat that I got from my guy L.I. He just sent me a beat. And I gave him the
Shout out.
I gave him the beat, and he came back with a hook. I said, okay. I took him to, now my cousin, he built the studio because I gave him the music bug.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, Wack, I need you to be a part of this. Come in as president or something, you know what I mean? I need you to be a part of this, brother. Well, you can be the face of, but this wouldn't have happened if you wouldn't have gave me that.
That beat.
You inspired. So I'm like, he used to talk about how I used to be in the garage with the Serving Vega speakers and the turntables and just blowing out the whole block all day long, right? Turn on the fire hydrant, let the kids run through the water and all that type of stuff. Just
so much synergy.
So much synergy.
That's where I had our equipment, in the garage.
Yeah. And so I took him to the studio on Friday. What was that, a week later, that Sunday, we made the video. I called my guy to come in and anchor the video with a little verse, because the guy was from Baltimore, he's from Detroit. I figured that's the same kind of area.
Yeah. Not really, but yeah.
Well, not really, but
they all the same.
But and
Baltimore's the bottom, man.
And we put it together for him, right?
Yeah.
And that's all I was doing. Unfortunately, he ended up relapsing and overdosing and passing away.
Wow.
October last year, right? Yeah. Yeah, and he was doing starting to get recognized and, getting some calls from Netflix, and they liked his look because he was a Greek guy, Italian, Greek dude, tall guy. He was building his little fan base and whatnot. And relaxed. The struggle is real.
So what's the next step in the music side?
The next step is the music side. We're doing a compilation right now with all our artists. We're putting together a showcase and a speaking tour.
Yeah.
With our artists and a couple.
Is this something we could get together on with Adventure Music?
Absolutely, we can get together on Adventure Music. We'll talk after the.
Yeah, for sure. That's what's up.
And we got some incredible music. Our music, we want to get back, take back the narrative of our music.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is we want to put out the direction of what our music is. With this new opportunity, these new genres, these new platforms, we don't have to be slaves to larger, record labels that's trying to tell us
and dictate
what we put out in our culture. From the drug music to
you're talking my language.
Yeah, from the drug music to now the feminine music.
It's funny because when, like, let's say NWA and they was going through the censorship and everything. So someone was telling me that we need to start changing the way or allowing these artists to make music. I said, but that's taking away their freedom. We have to allow their freedoms. The problem that I have with record labels is they spend the money on all the negative stuff to promote it and make it big. And that's why these artists is going to keep producing it, because that's what they know they'll get money for.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. More so than I don't have a problem, because to have it where it's, let's say, one version of type of music is not real. Not in my opinion. You can't have just one version. I need to hear the gang banging shit. I need to hear it because it's really happening.
We have like a whole roster of artists that from R&B to to rap that give out some banging, but it's banging with substance. It's music.
Yeah.
Right? Even when NWA and them was putting out, what they was talking about, with gangster and, hey, Mr. Dope Man, it always had a message though, right?
Yeah.
It always,
but it was, what people miss, and again, what you're saying is like, it's real music. I may have a different opinion because I feel everything's real music.
No.
The difference to me is one might be more catchy, right? It's more of a bigger type of a record than the next bigger record that was made. And that people would always ask us about it. That's why I have a real opinion about it. It's like when we made records like this, we loved them just as much as these big records.
You're absolutely
but guess what? These big records made the money.
Yeah, so let me rephrase that. And what I mean by real music is music that has verses, that has full verses, that has hooks, that has bridges. You know what I mean?
Bars
that have real bars.
Again, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Big Wack. I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
I'm not. I don't want to like. What I don't want to do. Like I said, I'm gonna backtrack off that.
Sure.
I'm not talking
don't
about
backtrack.
Music.
Stay there.
Listen, I'm not. When I say real music, I'm just making a distinction of different music.
See, we old heads.
I'm an artist. I'm an artist too.
Right.
And I understand what artistry is, and I respect other artistry and for what they do.
These young artists always.
I just have a different way of looking at music, and that's okay.
But it's because it's nothing wrong with what you're saying, except for it's really more of your opinion.
It's more of my opinion. That's all
it is. Because at the end of the day, these young artists, I deal with so many of them.
And they got fire.
Again, it's hard to have an opinion because it doesn't fit what I like.
Yeah, but they got fire. I mean, good music is good music.
Good music is good music.
Talented people are talented people. I was listening.
But you mentioned bars and you mentioned like format, like verses. And I look at it and I say, you have us as the older OGs, let's say, have to be open to change.
Absolutely.
Right? Because guess what change might represent? Change.
Absolutely.
And that change, that could change everything. Someone could come up with a new style, new format, that now that is the blueprint for what goes on. So I never rule it out because
Absolutely.
I know that I never wanted to be in a box. Irv never wanted to be in a box. We wanted our freedoms to do whatever the fuck we wanted. And then God willing, the world would enjoy it just like we do.
Absolutely.
So every artist deserves that opportunity. So I never look at music. I'm different in that sense because I will not put an opinion or put my opinion on what I feel everyone should be doing. I'm open to it all. Like I'm open to every type of music, whether I actually like it or not is my choice, right?
Absolutely.
But I used to tell everyone, I said, you could like Jay-Z, you could like Nas. What's the problem? It's not like I have to like just one type of records. I could like Rakim, I could like Nas, I could like LL. I didn't have to pick one. That was one of the biggest problems we got always messed up is growing up. We always thought it had to be one, and it don't. There's nothing that's one. Nike got Adidas, Reebok, no problem. You think they give a fuck about that? They all gonna eat.
Yeah.
But in our culture, we always made it like you got to be the one.
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm trying to say, that's why I'm not trying to say, I'm just trying to stay away from an opinion because that's when you get to that one.
I get you. I get it. I understand it. You know what I mean? I appreciate it.
But that music side is great.
Like, our artists are very eclectic, right? Or like, when I say I'm a music lover, I listen to all genres of music.
Sure.
Right? And I'm open to that. So, we just have, if you listen to our music, you'll understand, like, okay, I get it.
Right.
I get where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Man, that's nice. That's like,
How old are your artists?
I'm a motivational speaker.
Some of the artists.
Well, 25.
Okay.
25. We got a few artists that's 25. We got a couple artists that's older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I only bring up age because this new generation right now is really young.
Yeah.
And the young people run the game.
Absolutely.
Us as OGs, we supposed to help navigate them and show them how to actually really take it to another level. And that's what I try and do for all these young artists. I try and help them, empower them with information, knowledge, and let them take it, because their way of thinking is going to actually be what changes everything, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you ever heard Kanye say that, I can't fuck with no old people. Like, he was saying that. He's like, he said, what could you teach me? What could you tell me? I understand that mindset, and I don't agree with it all the way 100%, but I do understand what he was meaning by that. He wants that new energy,
that young energy,
which is what the culture and the wave will be. It's always going to be dictated by them young kids.
Absolutely. We got a couple of young people. We got one of our young people he just got here from Alabama, 19.
Them Z's, you need them Z's. Them not the we Generation X. The Z's, millennials are getting old. You old bastards, you getting old too.
For real, man.
You know what I'm saying? But you need them Z's. But so you got, again, let's go back now. We got the music. You have the detox centers, and that is for athletes in Pasadena.
And celebrities.
And celebrities in that nature. And then you also have this music business now that you got going on. Is there another entity that you're starting to move into now?
Well, our nonprofit.
Other than those two?
Yeah, well, our nonprofit are teaming up with iGolf program sponsored by CBS Sports.
We need Tiger Woods in that?
Well, that's what...
Tiger, you hear us? We need you, bro. Come to the hood, boy. Come back home.
And what we're doing right now is that we're in negotiations right now. We're bringing that youth program to Compton.
You know what's crazy? Again, we have so much synergy. I managed a golfer.
Wow.
Yeah. Sevi Calme.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now, him and Jordan are real good friends. And he works out with Jordan a lot. But Sevi, I started. We went out to play golf one day. I can't play. I know how. If I don't lose a ball, I did great.
I don't play golf either.
Right. See,
somebody came to me and said that they needed my help with this, and they said that I think this would be a good thing to bring to the city of Compton, and can you help me do it? I said, it sounds good. I read up on it. I like the program. I like what it can bring to the city. I like what it can do for the youth and in their future. And I said, man,
you're going to have the next Tiger Woods in Compton. That's what it sounds like. I'm telling you, change everything.
Yeah, change everything, brother.
That game is so hard. You have to pray. You got to practice.
Well, they're going to teach them. They're going to teach them.
But Sevi,
etiquette.
So I go out with Sevi. My dad loved golf, so I go out with my pops. You know what I'm saying? And Sevi, and he had another a pro golfer with him. So it's us four. He hit a shot that was right in front of this huge oak tree. Huge. And I said, there's no way. Like, you got to shoot this way then to get back to the hole.
Yeah, got a curve.
And he said, no, I'm getting on the green right here. And that's when I managed him. When he put that like 6 feet from the flag, I was like, hell no, I need you.
All the time.
Yeah, and then we worked out our deal right there. That was the day, though. Like, I remember that like yesterday. That shot was amazing to me. And he bent that shot right around the tree, right on the green, right 6 feet from the flag. And he was just laughing.
You know what you call him?
Yeah.
A professional.
Yeah, he's a professional. And at the time, he wasn't. He was an amateur. He played golf at St. John's.
Okay.
Played golf at St. John's. Right. So shout out Sevi, man.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I got a book coming up.
What's the name of your book?
From Prison to Promise. From
Prison to Promise.
Yes.
Man, I want to do a book too. I keep telling Eva I want to do a book. Because he wrote his book. His Real Always Wins is out there. But I want to do a book. I want to call it The Domestication of a Gangster.
Okay.
Because I seen it real time with all these real gangsters. And, I never met a person that didn't want the exact same thing we all want the same thing.
No.
We want to have money, take care of our family. And it doesn't have to be in that order.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And just live a good life. I don't care what human being I ever met, that's all they ever wanted. Whichever way they want to go about it is what they're trying to do. So these gangsters, when I showed them another way and they got money and they was able to actually create their living the right way, they was the first ones saying, yo, put that gun down. You understand?
You gave them a different
you shouldn't do that no more.
You introduced them to a different experience.
Right, because they understood a different way. But that's the domestication of that gangster right there.
When you're growing up in environments, you're a part of that environment, even if you don't want to think that you're a part of that environment.
That's right.
Because you're soaking things in subconsciously, to the point where when you begin to live in a neighborhood in fight or flight mode, things become instinctually.
Yes.
Become instinct.
Natural, like it's second nature.
It's second nature.
Yeah.
But if you put yourself in another environment, guess what? You adapt to that environment too.
Yeah.
Right?
If we don't adapt.
That's why when you put people in prison, when you incarcerate them, when they get out, they're still incarcerated here.
Yeah. If
they adapt to that environment,
if we don't adapt,
adapted to this environment.
If you don't adapt, when you get put in these places, you die.
Yes,
it's that simple.
You have to be able to adjust on the fly. Another thing I learned in prison is I learned the power of discernment. Discernment.
Okay.
Right. It's like I can see somebody because I had to. It's survival. I can look at somebody in 10 seconds. I can tell whether they're friend or foe from their energy. Woo. Right. And you gotta learn that. When you go out to I never went straight, when they opened the gate to the yard, I never went straight to the yard. I always stood in front of the door first and surveyed the yard
everything
before I went out there.
Yeah.
Because I want to pick up on people's energy.
Yeah.
I believe in the power of 5, right? The power of 5 is this. We have
five.
Everybody has at least 5 quality people around them, right? Whether they're associates, co-workers, family members, friends, or whatever. At least 5 quality people that you just connect with.
Yeah.
Right? And those 5 quality people got 5 quality people they connect with. And that 5 quality people got 5 quality people they connect with. And just look at all the energy that you're drawing from.
Right.
And this is how we make this connection right here between all the connections that we got through the power of 5.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. I'm going to end it on that right there.
Okay.
Before I end it, though, I want you to give out where they can find you at on your social media and things of that nature.
All right. You can check me out on MBM Muzik, R3L, Path to Recovery Detox. You can catch me on Path to Recovery Detox. Laugh MD Recovery, and my Facebook is Eric Lamond H.
Okay,
it's Eric Lamond H Recovery Ally.
And they be able to, if someone wanted to enter, most likely.
Go
ahead.
And my Gmail is elhawk1301. My Cash App is money sign EL Hawk.
Okay. But if anyone, if someone had a family member, because typically it wouldn't be the person that needs the detox. It's usually someone bringing them to you.
Yeah.
So whoever wanted to bring them to you, that's how they would just have to get in touch with you on one of them.
Well, they can also look up on the website. My number's on the website, but I'll give my number out right here, 951-289-2360. You can call me. We're doing an assessment, and we'll get you placed in somewhere where you can get some help. If we can't help you at that particular time, we will refer you to a place that you can get help, because that's what we're in the business of doing, helping people. Yeah. And let me tell you the power of 3 real quick. Real quick.
You got time.
So it's self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-concept, right? Those are the 3 pillars that people need in order to move on in a recovery. Self-confidence is the power of, the confidence in the things that you can do, the ability of accomplishing things.
Getting something done.
Right? Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself.
Right.
And self-concept is how you see yourself.
Right.
Because if I see myself as someone that's not worthy of greatness, if I'm not see myself as somebody not worthy of happiness, then, every time I see a reflection of me in someone else, I'm angry at them.
That's right.
So I work on myself.
We kings. That's what they say.
We kings. What I want to do is I want to help empower people with interpersonal wealth, right? Interpersonal wealth building.
That's right.
And I want to help people do that. And we're going to be doing this tour, this speaking tour, And that's what we're gonna be talking about, interpersonal wealth.
I love me some me.
I love me some me. And I'm gonna teach you how to get there.
That's right. It starts there though. If you don't love yourself, how you gonna help somebody love somebody else? You gotta love yourself.
And how is somebody else gonna believe in you?
That's right. If you don't believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
Man, I want to thank you for coming down, man. I appreciate you.
Pleasure,
Big
brother.
Wack, man. Thank you. And again, if with any of those programs, make sure I'll reach out, find him, and go see what he's got going on. If you need any help, substance abuse, music-wise, he's got the whole label situation moving. And again, I just appreciate you coming down, man. I know you travel for this, and that's a beautiful thing to me. I appreciate it. And I just want to remind my audience again before I get off, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We here, giving them the business. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo. My partner Don Dinero is not with me, but he's always with me, if you understand. And we out.